Wall Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature's for the masses. Where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplifting others is a passion. My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. If we all just come together, there's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street. Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
All right, man. Grand rising to you, beautiful people. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put in a book like The Wealth Choice, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, and we absolutely will find it. 30 minutes a day, my beautiful people. 30 minutes a day to keep broke and stupid away. I'm your host, VRGJ, certified financial educator, certified global financial educator, CEO of VRGJ Enterprises, The Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, The Study of Black Wealth, is a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. I've been teaching Black folk about money for a long time, and I realize everybody don't want to be rich, and that's okay. But for those that do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. Well, you can find that book by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up your copy today. It's available, and a few copies left in the physical copy. You do have the ebook available in French and also in English for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. While you're there at the site there, you'll see a place that's called The Store. At The Store, you'll find other Black author books that point to or that are specific to financial literacy, business development, and personal development. So you can support other Black authors by going to our store. And we got books for kids and for adults. Also, you'll see a place where it says join the club. That's a place we have a private membership group for people, brothers and sisters who are serious about building wealth, building business while they build themselves. So if you've been saying to yourself, you know what, I feel like I'm the smartest person in my room, and it's time for you to find a new room, quite possibly the New Black Wall Street, the Black Billionaires Club could be that room for you. Check us out at theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Now, it's been a little minute. I ain't been over here on Instagram in a while. I had people hit me up, inbox me saying, I ain't seen your videos and stuff like that because I ain't really been on Instagram. So I went to the little Dollar Tree and I finally found me a little stand to put my phone on so I can come on Instagram. So hopefully you guys are rocking with me here this morning. If you're over on IG, go ahead and say good morning and let us know where you're connecting from. Same thing for everybody else. Why are you connecting this morning on Facebook, Instagram, and also YouTube? Let us know where you're connecting from, what city, what state, what country, quite possibly. As I mentioned, global. I understand we're using the World Wide Web, and I'm just coming into my little office, and I'm connecting with people all over the globe and want to know just how far our reach is here this morning. I'm broadcasting from our virtual studios here in Decatur, Georgia. That's right, Decatur, where it's greater, is where I'm connecting from, and just want to know where you are. So grand rising to you, Mr. Moon 67, Amanda Grace, I am Jay Marie. Some other people over Instagram, go ahead and say hello. Good morning to you, Mr. Mila Walker from New Jersey in the house, Miss Glenda Tate Williams from Kings Mountain, North Carolina. Shiro Blackberry Charisma, grand rising to you, Queen Almanor. Happy Tuesday to you. It is Tuesday. It's terrific Tuesday. Willie Lee, grand rising to you. Thanks so much for joining us out of Boston. Miss Goodridge is in the house. Grand rising to you. Mr. Clark is in the house. Grand rising to you. Florida is representing here this morning. Miss J. Marie from Dallas, Texas. Grand rising to you here this morning. I want to shout out our supporters real quick that help us to do what we do, where we can continue to teach for free, and other people help us to do this. So, Miss Blackberry Charisma, you want to check them out. That's one of our sponsors. You can check them out at blackberrycharisma.com. Blackberrycharisma.com. I want to shout out For the Hustler, another one of those books to help you with business development. Matter of fact, you buy this book, you're going to get a free business consultation. That's at hustlerbooks.com, hustlerbooks.com. Big Sis Media, the music that you heard, not the music, but the video that you saw if you're on Facebook or YouTube, all of the digital stuff that you see, all my graphics, that comes from Big Sis Media. Check out Big Sis Media, bigsismediagroup.com, and then the Black Bazaar, which I don't have listed here, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, hit the like button, share button if you care, like button, share button if you care. Let's get right into this thing here this morning. Grand rising to you, Mona Gonzalez out of New Jersey. Good morning to you, Miss Antoinette Ross is a boss. Grand rising to you. Thanks so much for joining us today. Antoine Lowry, one of my star students out of Charleston, South Carolina. Grand rising to you, Queen. Vivian is in the house. Absolutely. Let's get right into this thing, guys. 30 minutes a day to keep broke and stupid away. The Wealth Choice. A book written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro. Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. And we're into chapter number 3. I believe I'll find a page. I don't know where my little bookkeeper left. Oh, I know where we're at. We'll pick up where we left off at yesterday. Now, these are laws, or these are success secrets of wealth choice. Everybody put a comment, so I choose wealth. It's a choice. And so we'll just review real quick because we're going to get into the third law of wealth, continuing to the journey of the third law of wealth here today. I got to change my my thing up there. And the first law of wealth simply says this, that wealth begins in the mind and it ends in the purse. Wealth begins in the mind and it ends in the purse. So a lot of what happens is it comes down to what you feed yourself, what you choose to inject, what you choose to eat, what you choose to watch, what you choose to listen to. It comes down to what you choose to feed yourself, right? So I choose wealth. So I choose to engulf things like the wealth choice, read these types of things, read about billionaires, millionaires, and study them because they're probably doing something different than what I'm doing. And I want to get to where they're going, so I start paying attention to what they're doing. The second law of wealth simply says this, right? That I must decide now. Everybody put in comments on now. No opportunities wasted. Decide now to not be poor. So after I feed myself with this information, this wealth information, as I understand that wealth, that wisdom is more precious than rubies of gold, and I begin to feed myself this philosophy, then I can now make a choice, understanding that there's a difference between the haves and the have-nots. They talk different, they walk different, they act different. But I can decide now, and I can change the course of direction for my life at any point in time I choose. It's called free choice. I decide now not to be poor. So let's get right into this thing, continue our journey. So we're into the third law as we're talking about faith. So we've discussed Kathy Hughes, we've discussed Steve Harvey, we discussed who we discussed yesterday. Quite a few people. I don't remember. I had to bring it up for you just a second. I mean, quite a few people we've been going over here as we McMillan, Terry McMillan. We covered her. We covered Michelangelo, Johnny Cochran, and some people like that. A whole bunch of black folk that are millionaires that he continues to add into the book. They kind of weave them in so you can connect with all of these wealthy people and what they're doing in order to get that wealth, right? I don't know about you, but I'm trying to get to the money, right? But I'm not just trying to get rich. I want to build wealth. There's a difference. There's a difference. Let me say that again. I'm not just trying to get rich. Now, I want to get rich and build wealth, but I'm not just trying to get rich. I'm trying to build wealth. That way, when I'm no longer here, the streams that I create are still flowing into the Jefferson estates. How about you? The third law of wealth, let's keep going here. The Sweet Taste of Success, the New Black Wall Street Book Club, The Wealth Choice by Dr. Dennis Kimbro. Let's read. A careful look at the sources of history's greatest fortunes not only exposes the futility of trying to speculate your way to billions, but also refutes a common misconception regarding the connection between original ideas and great wealth. It is true that new ideas have given birth to many immense fortunes, but the original thinkers have not generally been the ones who made the fortunes. A more dependable strategy is to learn how to make money from ideas. Everybody putting down, so make money from ideas. A more dependable strategy is to learn how to make money from ideas. See, that's why I tell people a lot when they come into my space, I tell them you don't have an income problem. What you have is an idea problem. And then after you fix the idea problem, then you must fix the execution problem. To destroy or kill procrastination and stuff like that, which is the bigger destroyer of dreams and opportunities than racism. Procrastination. How many guys procrastinate on Bitcoin? Procrastination. Thought about it, could have did it, would have done it, should have done it, intended to do it, didn't do it. Procrastination. See, I learned if I start working on me, I start fixing me and started trying to fix everything else. If I fix me, then I'll be able to fix everything else in my life, in my circle, in my world. But the problem is many of us have been trying to fix everything else and skipping over fixing me. A more dependable strategy is to learn how to make money from ideas and then prepare to capitalize on an original notion dreamed up by someone else who was more skilled at that sort of thing. Then be prepared to capitalize on an original notion dreamed up by someone else who is more skilled at that sort of thing. If this sounds like a jaded notion, consider the story of Michelle Hoskins. During the winter of 1983, Michelle Hoskins knew she had hit rock bottom. A mother of three, she was jobless and had just survived a bitter divorce. When I leave, her ex-husband boasted defiantly, "You won't be anything." How many women have heard that? Try as she might to prove him wrong, she ended up on welfare. It was humiliating, she recalls, but those 18 months on government assistance motivated me to strive for a better life. How many guys are in a situation right now that situation might be bleak, but it's motivating you to strive? If you're motivated to strive this morning, go ahead and put that in the comments. Well, I'm motivated to strive. She's motivated to strive for a better life. Thanks to a dogged work ethic, years of sacrifice, and undeniable faith in an old family recipe for breakfast syrup that was first created by her great-great-grandmother, a slave in Mississippi, Hoskins had found her fortune. The Chicago native now supplies Michelle's honey cream syrup, a sinful confection of cream, honey, and churned butter, as well as a line of gourmet pancakes mixed to 10,000 stores across the country, including Kroger, Safeway, Winn-Dixie, and Walmart. What Hoskins, president and CEO of Michelle Foods Incorporated, markets isn't just any pancake syrup or batter. This recipe is the secret blend, secret blend is part of an astonishing story, a set of instructions and combination of ingredients that was passed down through the generations. The original syrup was comprised of churned butter, cream, and honey. America Washington, her great-great-grandmother, and a slave who created the recipe for her owner, had stipulated that the recipe could be passed only from mother to daughter and not any daughter, the third daughter of each generation, a stipulation that puzzles Hoskins to this date. Her mother won the prize recipe, but she had only one daughter, Michelle, who managed to persuade her mother to share the recipe. Moreover, she stated that she wanted to pass the recipe on to Michelle's third daughter, Keisha. Thankfully, after 8 years of pruning, her mother relented. This beloved family recipe would become Hoskins' saving grace. In 1982, Hoskins took inventory. With little financial security and 3 small children, her dreams were the only asset she possessed. Everybody put in comments on my dream is an asset. My dream is an asset. Woo! But her life was about to change. After preparing breakfast one morning for a few close friends, her guests raved over her pancakes and syrup. A heart-to-heart talk with her family led her to believe that a recipe for success might literally be at her doorstep. 2 years later, she went for broke. She resigned from her part-time teaching job and sold her condo, her car, her furniture, and jewelry, and raised $150,000 to launch her business. She and her children moved in with her parents, where Hoskins and her youngest daughter made batches of syrup and on an old stove in the basement and bottled the product. My family thought I had lost my mind, Hoskins remembers. Each night, my girls and I would painstakingly fill bottles of syrup by hand. It took nearly 1 hour to fill 12 bottles as our feet stuck to the floor. But deep down inside, I knew it was going to work. Deep down inside, I knew it was going to work. She took the recipe to a chemist who formulated the ingredients into the marketable product suitable for mass distribution. Next, she figured out the nuts and bolts of the business, including finance and accounting and other crucial aspects of running a company. Finally, she attempted to break or circumvent racial and gender barriers to get her product on the market. Little little of it was easy. Within a year, however, she had contracts with 2 major chains in the Chicago area. 3 years later, her syrup was featured in 300 stores. But Hoskins was hoping to branch out nationally. To make the transition easier, she developed 2 new flavors, butter pecan and maple cream, and was making gains marketing her syrups in St. Louis, Detroit, and the Midwest. But I was still struggling. Now, she shared with me, sometimes I was forced to barter syrup in order to pay the rent. And the frustrating part was failing to comprehend the ins and outs of the food manufacturing industry, in addition to being a Black woman who far too often was not taken seriously. In 1991, I caught wind of the racial discrimination lawsuit that was about to impact the Denny's restaurant chain. Needless to say, I immediately saw an opportunity. I realized that Denny's and its competitors were seeking to address their diversity needs. Without any contracts or letters of introduction, I personally called Denny's headquarters every Monday morning at 10:30 for 2 years. In an effort to convince the chain to carry my product, my faith and persistence paid off. In 1993, Denny's awarded Michelle's Food a $3 million contract. I want y'all to hear that again. Now, she knew it would work. She saw an opportunity, and she kept knocking on the door until the door opened. Everybody put in the console, until. She kept knocking on the door until the door opened. See, that's the thing about the scripture. It says, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be opened unto you. But really that ask means ask and keep on asking, right? Seek and keep on seeking, knock and keep on knocking. Until that door was open, $3 million contract. Nearly all the millionaires surveyed for this study indicated a major component to their financial success and their ability to overcome fear and low self-esteem is direct function of faith. Those men and women who are destined for success believe that sooner or later, they're going to be successful. They believe that whatever occurs, either positive or negative, is a part of the grand plan that will lead them to their financial well-being. All things are working together for my good. All things. They refuse to entertain, dwell on, or discuss the likelihood of failure. The concept of failure never occurs to them. Or, as Michelle Hoskins revealed, my fortune has its roots in the belief that a good idea can't be stopped. And in the single dollar that got me started. The men and women in this study know how to defeat fear and worry, primarily by unleashing, everybody put in console, unleash, by unleashing their inner self-confidence and a firm belief within their own abilities. Here are the values that Michelle Hoskins used repeatedly as she made the leap from fear, from worry, and from despondency to the life of which at one time she could only dream. Here are the values. Again, we're reading the book, The Wealth Choice, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. Here's the first value, right, that she stood on as she went from poverty to prosperity. Her first value was giving back. Giving back. Of those to whom much is given, much is required. If you possess love and hope or graciousness in abundance, offer your gift to those who need it. When you serve others, from that form of service returns to you in the form of compassion and gratitude. As you reach out to others, you'll realize that your struggle, your challenge is neither enormous nor insurmountable. One of the primary reasons that such a small percentage of African-American households have attained millionaire status is because so few seek to own and operate their own businesses. Hoskins took advantage of programs that encouraged and supported minority and female-owned companies. She rode the wave of expansion to these types of businesses in the late 1980s and early 1990s and gradually built a network of colleagues who assisted and supported her. Hoskins launched a nationwide mentoring program from recipe to retail to aid, uplift, and support entrepreneurial hopefuls who desperately seek to follow in her footsteps. So in case you guys are wondering, y'all going to see me post about Michelle Hoskins. I'm going to go find a picture, Google her up, and I'm going to put her right on for our Black History highlight of the day. Michelle Hoskins. And repeat this again. She took advantage of programs, right? There are programs in our community, in wherever we are. There's some programs that are there to aid us, to help us to get through. Will you seek out those programs? A lot of those programs have assistance, they have wisdom and knowledge, and some of those programs got money, grants, and stuff like that, right? That supported minority and female-owned companies, your government contracts, get government certified, get minority certified, all that stuff, right? She rode the wave of expansion of these types of businesses in the late 1980s and early 1990s. What he basically said there is that she had an eye open for opportunity. She saw the opportunity with Denny's, and she said, I can feel that need. Y'all need some black folk that y'all connected to. Well, I'm black and I happen to be a woman. That's going to take care of two of those priorities right there. And then, boom, you contract me. Now you can say you diversified. Let me go get that money. But it took her 2 years of knocking. How many of you guys are willing to knock for 2 years for your breakthrough? How many guys are willing to knock for 2 years for your breakthrough? That's not 365 days. That's 700 and whatever that is, 800 something days, 700 something days, 730 days. I believe that's what we got. And then it says she gradually built the network. Everybody put in console, build a network. She gradually built a network of colleagues who assisted and supported her. That's why we have the Black Billionaires Club. If you remember the BBC, go and put in console, hashtag BBC. That's exactly why we have the Black Billionaires Club. We're building our network of like-minded individuals who can support us and who can support us for our entrepreneurial needs, right? Here's the second value. Here's the second value. Let the spirit move you. Let the spirit move you. To honor her ancestors' gift, the Chicago native introduced the marketplace to a life sweetened with success and triumph and leavened with challenging toil. Through it all, she carries a great deal of respect for the gift that was graciously passed down to her. It's ironic and humbling, she explained, that this legacy began by a slave, my ancestor, would eventually pave my road to financial independence. I felt as if my great-great-grandmother was calling out to me. It's as if she reached out from the past and said, I've been waiting for someone to accept the challenge and step out on faith. I thank God each day that I heard the call. Now, this is very near and dear to me because I don't know about you, but I feel like now that I've opened myself up to receive, everybody putting console to receive. Now that I opened myself, I made myself available. I got rid of the junk and I began to open myself to receive. I'm getting daily downloads, daily download. And I'm saying, sometimes I question it. Like, that what I really need to do? That's what I really need to say? Is that what I really need to post? Sometimes I'll be like, they ain't trying to hear me anyway. And all that stuff, I'll be fighting with it. Let the spirit move you. Let the spirit move you. Here's the thing about the spirit that I've come to understand. The spirit wants to lead you to prosperity. Right? We understand Jeremiah 37:11, something like that, talking about somebody, movie that's prosperity. I can't think of it right now, but y'all know I know it. So he want to lead you to prosperity. So if the spirit wants to lead you, that means that you and I must be willing to follow. We got to become good followers. You got to be a great follower before you can be you got to be a great follower before you can be a great leader. The spirit wants to lead you to prosperity. But are you a good follower? Will you just do what the spirit leads you to do? Will you accept what the spirit is saying to you at some point in time? To you it sounds crazy. Like, why would I do that? I'm pretty sure it sounded crazy to Noah. I'm pretty sure it sounded crazy to Moses. I'm pretty sure it sounded crazy to every great of the great greats, or what makes the great great at some particular time. I'm pretty sure it sounded crazy to them too. Number 3, leaving a legacy. Leave a legacy. Everybody put in console, leave a legacy. Hoskins' parents told her anything that the mind can conceive can be achieved. When Hoskins endured an emotionally draining divorce, not to mention working one part-time job after another, she read an article highlighting women business owners who managed to reach their goals and thereby control their own destiny. right? It forced her to think. It forced her to think. It forced her to think. Why not form a company and sell my great-great-grandmother's syrup? In true entrepreneurial form, Hoskins began to visualize her enterprise, replete with bottles and labels and packaging, as well as the stores that would carry her product. She began to visualize. She began to see the thing before it was a thing. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. She saw it in her mind first. This is why wealth begins in the mind first. You got to see it first before you see it later. She decided then and there to join the mix of these high achievers and leave a legacy for her 3 daughters. Wow. And the fourth value that Ms. Hoskins stood on as she went from poverty to prosperity: faith. One of the greatest fears that each of us faces, Hoskins points out, is the fear of failure. Whether I was mixing product or presenting before a distributor, the fear of failure always seemed to fester. The nagging insecurity that I wouldn't succeed or that I was not good enough. Fear is an emotion that wealth requires you to conquer. The longer it lives within you, the stronger it lives within you. Thankfully, my foundation centers on the man above. Crisis prayer is okay, but daily prayer is better. In his eyes, I'm always good enough. I'm going to read this again because this is super powerful this morning. This essence of faith and understanding it. Let's read this again. One of the greatest fears that each of us faces is the fear of failure. Whether I was mixing product or presenting before a distributor, the fear of failure always seemed to fester. How many guys can relate to that? It just creeps in. It just keeps on creeping up. The nagging insecurity that I wouldn't succeed or that I was not good enough. Fear is an emotion that wealth requires you to conquer. The longer it lives within you, the stronger it lives within you. Thankfully, my foundation centers on the man above. Crisis prayer is okay, but daily prayer is better. In his eyes, I am always good enough. I want you guys to understand, everybody that's joined us here this morning, that you are good enough. Shiro, you're good enough. Miss Glenda Tate Williams, you are good enough. Miss Erica Padmore, you are good enough. Miss Amanda Hollingsworth, my sister from high school, my alumni graduate, you are good enough. Miss Jennifer Almanor, leaving a legacy to your family and your children's children, you are good enough. Miss Vivian Reed, got all that knowledge in the health industry. I want you to understand that you are good enough. Miss Yvette Goodrich, keep on showing up to support, do all that you can. I want you to understand that you are always good enough. Miss Antoinette Ross is a boss doing her thing up and down these alleyways. I want you to understand that you are always good enough. This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put it in a book, like The Wealth Choice, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, and we absolutely will find it. You can find this book by simply going to his website, www.denniskimbro.com, www.denniskimbro.com. Mr. Mila Walker, out there doing her thing in credit and real estate, you are always good enough. In the comments below, I'd love for you to share something. What was your takeaway for today? Right? What's something that impressed upon you, your spirit, your mind, and your soul? We don't do this just to do this. I do this to make a difference, and hopefully made a difference in your life today. I'm simply asking you to answer this question in the comments below. Was this worth your time, and why? Reading Rainbow 2.0, right? Take a look. It's in a book. And the book that we've been going through is The Wealth Choice, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro. Now, I know I talk much faster than type. I'll give you a few seconds just to leave your final thoughts, and then we'll get up out of here as we get ready to get up, get out, and go get something this morning. I do want you guys to know that tonight in BBC, we do have our Eagle trading presentation for crypto. And that's going to be basically for my elders that are 50 and above. I'm going to show you a strategy on how you can put yourself in position to win, even in this crypto space where you ain't got to learn everything. Got to be kind. I'm going to make it super simple. It ain't got to be complicated. If you're in the BBC, that's where we'll be. If you're not in the BBC, you want to join, so you can be a part of that. You can join as well by simply going to blackbillionairesclub.com and choosing to become a member of our club. Other than that, that's all we got on taps today. But our sponsors, again, go ahead and support these Black-owned businesses. BlackBerry Charisma, www.blackberrycharisma.com. For the Hustler Books, check them out at hustlerbooks.com. Big Sis Media takes care of all of our digital stuff. Check them out at bigsismediagroup.com. Now, I'll have another one for you later on. And then, again, you want to support this Black author who wrote this phenomenal book, www.denniskimbro.com. As you guys are saying, we'll wrap this thing up. That's right, man. As we reset, man, we are champions. Absolutely, man. Ms. Clinton said, Williams, hard work and perseverance pays off, determined to be successful. Shiro said, I am good enough. Keep asking and keep on knocking. All right. Ms. Goodrich said, I enjoy your show and it's worth my time. Thank you, Ms. Padmore. As I keep knocking and really conquering my procrastination. But brother Brian, great Scott. Great read this morning, man. Mr. Man, the Hollywood, yes, is worth my time because it inspires me to make today amazing and prosperous. I want you guys to make your next move your best move. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. Our immigrants thrive. What's going on Instagram? So much value. Thank you. Define worth. Definitely worth my time. You get me thinking in ways I never considered before, man. That's what we're here for. Man, I want you guys to remember this. It takes a village, starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
New black. It's the New Black Wall Street Book Club. With your host, Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Yeah. The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street Book Club.